Good morning. Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. It's 9:06, and a big portion of today might be over if you were involved in Blowjob Doctor. How are you, friends? BJDX, the trade of the morning. Yeah, Blowjob Doctor. What do they do? I don't know. Doesn't matter. The real name of the company is Blue Jay Diagnostics. And as we continue the longest Groundhog Day in existence, my life as a trader, every day is basically the same day. There's a few biotech stocks that are going crazy in the morning. There's a couple of stocks in the news, and there's something that's due out economically. And we're going to sit here and try to make as much money as we possibly can on a daily basis without owning stocks. And I've been saying this for got to be my whole life. Most stocks stink. Most stocks are pump and dumps. And if you Google it now, which I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, I found some amazing articles. One study was from 1920 to 2015, where the life expectancy of a stock or the expectations for most stocks are a result of them going to zero. It's real, it's proven. And there's another study out there that I found from 1980 to 2020, where they analyzed 65,000 stocks, and only 2.5% of those stocks did anything really good. 4.5% of those stocks accounted for basically the majority of all the gains the market has. So, again, the idea of you building a portfolio that's going to beat the market is an illusion. Most stocks are pump and dumps. And again, I look down the list of stocks. I have over 1,000 stocks on watch lists, and I keep adding to them, and then inevitably I go back and check on them, and then I go look at some of them, and they don't even exist. One of them was called App Harvest, App Harvest, APPH, and now it has a Q at the end of it. And the idea was, again, the pandemic and all that stuff. We were running out of diesel, we were running out of fuel, we were running out of wheat. Ukraine was a big supplier of wheat. We were all going to starve to death after we ran out of diesel, and the food wasn't going to be able to get to us because the truckers were all going to have no gas, and the whole world was going to come to an end. I love the doom and gloom porn. The doom porn is fantastic. The doom porn should turn their attention to the true tragedy that is the stock market. Point out that most stocks stink. Instead of the typical doom porn, it says, "You're going to die. The man who blah, blah, blah is the only one to protect you." That's the comedy of the doom porn. So I've been looking at these articles, and Google them. There's one, the study from 2020, from 1920 to 2015. There's another one from 1980 to 2020. And again, back to the point, was that most stocks stink. I know it. You know it. I've literally held 7 stocks to zero. Want me to name them? Because they were serious, really. They seemed like real companies at one point. Remember Enron? Yeah, you do. They made movies about it. Remember WorldCom? They seemed to be doing things. They were a real company. It seemed. No, right? Enron, WorldCom. How about some Chinese stocks for you? Remember Puda Coal? Come on, they were a coal company making tremendous amounts of money in the revolution that was the China boom. Building buildings, need all that coal. Fake company. Guys, remember Smart Heat from China? Smart Heat, HEAT. Yeah, another company was on 2020. Or 60 Minutes. But right now, it's all about Blowjob Doctor. I hope you guys are in it. BJDX, Blowjob Doctor. Remember, it's a pump and dump. It will be at zero either today or next week or a week after. Remember, none of these stocks are real. And treat the market the way I treat it. This is all a video game. I don't take any of it seriously. And now I really don't have to take it serious because my dad doesn't own the Qs anymore. So I'm completely out of the market. The Glicks are out, pretty much out of the market. At 5.5%, my father finally realized, hey, I'm going to be 80. I've had a beautiful run with the QQQ. He's bought every dip since 2003. He's absolutely annihilated the market, and now he is out. of the market at 5.5% guaranteed. That's where the money's going. Again, I thought this year would be a little bit more difficult because of guys like my father pulling out of the market. But yet, once the fear of missing out kicked in and the QQQ started ripping and the Apple and the Amazon, the Tesla and the Google, and again, it's basically 30 or 40 stocks that run the whole thing. But again, let's go back. Pump and dumps. Do your research. But the pump and dump is fun if you just trade the pump and dump. Now, the only reason I'm doing this video here early in the morning is I want to make sure that I'm the man who. I'm the man who. I get 45 emails every day about the man who bought Tesla, the man who told you Amazon was going to go to 1,000, the man who called the crash, the man who. I'm the man who, and it's never my face on those emails. So the man who is also telling me that there's going to be death in the air again on October 13th now. The man who said there was going to be death in the air July 3rd. The man who also said there'd be hell to pay on August 9th. He also then said September 13th and September 14th were going to be the end of the stock market. The man who also said Biden bucks was going to come kill us. And the man who also said we were running out of wheat. And that brings me back to App Harvest, right? Look at that stock. It made a lot of sense at the time, right? That's why you don't buy into stories. Stories are bullshit. Stories are the pump and dump. Stories, right, are the penny stock broker calling you on the phone. Hey, Mr. Jones, how are you? Kenny Glick from Johnson & Johnson Securities. Yeah, not that Johnson & Johnson. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, I sent you out an email a couple of weeks ago about a stock XYZ at 18 cents. It's at $48 now, Mr. Johnson. Oh, your name's not Mr. Johnson? I'm Mr. Johnson. That's right. I work for the company. Right. Oh, don't worry about that. It's okay. Kenny Glick, right. Johnson & Johnson Securities. It doesn't matter. Remember the email I sent you? The stock was 18 cents. It's at $40 right now. Would you like to hear my new idea? Would you like to hear my new idea? You heard about this Russia going into the Ukraine, right? Yeah. There's a company that has a new technology that creates wheat out of thin air. Yeah. They sprinkle this stuff on the ground and bang, wheat appears and it's going to save the world. Its name is App Harvest. And if you get in right now at $5, well, I know $5, right? Last time I gave you a stock at 18 cents, this one's $5. But listen, you'd rather me buy you a stock at 5 because it's a lot easier for a stock to go from 5 to 10 than a $50 stock going to 100. Don't you understand, Mr. Jones? I'm getting you here at 5. What we're thinking, our analysts are projecting that this stock could go to $40 or $50. So that's 1,000% on your money. You want to wait till the stock goes to 50 and then see it go to 100 or get in here at 5? Exactly. Don't be left out of this one. You have to ask your wife. Oh, you don't have any money right now? You're buying a house? Oh, is that right? You know what your wife's doing right now, right, Mr. Jones? Right now, your wife's out there. She's buying a blouse. Yeah. Is she calling you to discuss the price of that blouse? Do you have a job? Of course you do. I'm calling you at your job. You're probably wondering how I got this phone number, aren't you? Just pick up 10,000 shares right now. Let's start this relationship. And when the stock's at 8 cents 6 months from now, and I call you back, we're going to dollar cost average. What happened? Every stock is a pump and dump. I come from that world. That's why I've been jaded from day one. That's why I became a trader. Most stocks stink. We were on the phone pumping this bullshit, and I was like, what are we even doing here? These are not even real companies. I mean, it took me about 6 months, 9 months to realize how much of a scam these boiler rooms were, and I quit. Selling bullshit to fucking... I mean, why would anybody buy something over the phone? It's amazing that people would buy something. I'd be amazed. But most stocks are pump and dumps. So I've been looking down this list of stocks, right? I got the App Harvest. Remember VRAR? I just saw it popping by on the 52-week list. And I'm like, I know this stock. VRAR. What is this? I don't know. But it's at 52-week lows. And I look at the chart and I'm like, oh, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. And inevitably, after all the pumping and dumping is done, there's nowhere for the stock to go but zero. And that's generally the life expectancy of most stocks. So why the hell would you own stocks? You know the QQQ, boom. That's a different entity. You got the top 100 stocks. And when one of those top 100 stop performing well, they boot it from the club. That's how they keep the perpetual lie going that the market is always going up, which in theory it is. Not in theory. In reality, the market tends to only go up, but most stocks stink. That's the illusion. You're not going to build a portfolio that's going to beat the Qs. You're not. You're not. Just bet against the Jets. You've got the better shot in making money over the next 40 years, like I've been doing since the 5th grade with my stupid little Jets hat with the beanie on top that my dad got for me. I have it somewhere in a closet. It's probably worth more than that whole fucking franchise. You find something that works, you keep doing that, and don't do anything else. Bet against the Jets. You have not. Don't tell me you have. Because if you bet against the Jets consistently, and I'm talking about every week, no matter what, and you got to step up every once in a while. When they do win 3 games in a row, you got to put that bigger bet in there because you got to win all the losses back. But if you stick with the program and you bet against the Jets consistently, unless they win the Super Bowl, you're going to come out ahead. And you guess what? They're never winning the Super Bowl. Just like most stocks are pump and dumps, the Jets are never winning the Super Bowl. Ever. Ever. I know it. Maybe you don't know it yet. But again, let's go back to pump and dumps. VRAR, App Harvest. And again, let's talk about AI stocks, right? And this is where you're going to learn something right now. Here's where you're going to learn. How do you identify the bubble? Remember, 3 years ago, Goldman Sachs wrote that article about how we're too stupid to realize what a bubble is. And I raised my hand. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I know what a bubble is because I've lived through 4 or 5 of them. And Goldman Sachs saying that I'm too stupid to realize what a bubble is solidifies the idea that this market must be in a bubble. And that's why I got short in February of 2021. Remember that year where everybody predicted it was going to be awesome? I remember going into 2023 where everybody thought we would be crashing every day, no hope in sight, we're all going to die. And then the buying started, and again, the wall of worry, and here we are. And again, if you watched my video yesterday, this market is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Ba-ba-da-ba. Phenomenal. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-da. Phenomena. Ba-ba-da-ba. Phenomena. You know what I'm talking about. The market's phenomenal. We went through all the stages. 2023 is a textbook year. Skepticism coming in. You love skepticism. That's what makes the market go up. The shorts get on the wrong side. People start chasing. January turns into a good idea. Ooh, the January effect. How goes January? Goes the year, right? Get in touch with the almanac trader, Jeff Hirsch. Seasonality. January, February, March are good. We had a little pullback in March to correct the January and February move. Perfect market. We held the pullback. The pullback was bought. We rallied and broke new highs. That's when the fear of missing out started to kick in. And the shorts had to cover some because we were breaking out of a new range in March of 2023, just a few months ago. Then what happens? You get April and May. Oh my God, I can't believe we're going up like this. What's going on? Then the fear of missing out kicks in. And then what else kicks in is that all the money managers who were with their MBAs and doing all their due dilly, they realized that they were wrong. I guess there's no recession coming. All that education I had, it was pointless. What's EBITDA mean again? Who cares? EBITDA. That's all, folks. So then came May, or first April came, and I started saying, hey, this market's pretty bullish. And I built a little portfolio for myself. And then 3 days later, the market started going down. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And I sold everything. And then about 3 weeks later, I was like, you know what? I think that was a very irrational decision. And I got right back into the market and I held for 3 months. We built the imaginary hedge fund. Remember that? I gave it a list of stocks and we absolutely freaking annihilated everything. And then what happened? we started hitting records. 13 up days in a row for the Dow Jones. Tied the record for the most up days ever. And then what happened after that? The article came out. The market is in bull market mode. Risk is definitely on, right? When Carvana hit 58. So when did they, the media, the interweb, when did they get bullish? The day Carvana hit 58. Oh my God, what's this thing doing? $58. Meanwhile, we were buying it at 8 and 12 and 21 and doing $20, $30 call spreads and buying $85 calls and making money on it. Ridiculous, right? But then that article came out. It said, risk must be back on now that Carvana's at 58. And I said to people, okay, there's the article we've been waiting for. They are telling us now it's time to get into the market. It must be time to get out. And that was on July 20th. And where have we gone so far since the bull market really started? According to the interweb, right? According to the interweb, the bull market started somewhere in June/July. And what have we done since? Squadoosh. Squadoosh. But that leads into what I'm saying is a perfect market. We rallied, we pulled back, we rallied, we pulled back. We're consolidating now, and now we're into seasonality weakness. September is notorious for a weak month, especially this week that we're in. Sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur. So all those stocks that you're seeing getting in those little downtrends right now, you should be rubbing your hands together for when they start to turn back up. And that turn back up could last for 3 or 4 weeks. And those 3 or 4 weeks will be glorious. And then earnings season's here. And then seasonality. October is not that bad of a month, even though it's notoriously bad because of crashes. November is usually good. And then here we are in December. And next thing you know, it's a nice time, something about Christmas songs. I love Christmas songs. I worked in a mall. I couldn't get enough. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And it is the most wonderful time of the year. Right now, every day is the most wonderful time of the year. When you're liquid and you're playing the game. Play the game. Play the game. Learn about what you're doing here. Learn why BJDX, as much fun as we're having with it this morning, means absolutely nothing to us. But you're going to get 13 emails tomorrow that said, my Discord channel alerted us to BJDX. You're going to get 16 other emails about some scientist with an MBA who went to blah, blah, blah school. The man who is projecting BJDX was their technology and blah, 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 diagnostics, blah, 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 and they're going to pretend that they know about BJDX. It's a pump and dump. You always have to default to the idea that a stock that's up 67% is a pump and dump. You know why you have to have that as your default? Because that's the way it is. Because that's the way it is. We've had BJDX on our watch list before. It got pumped and it got dumped, just like VRAR, just like App Harvest, just like the AI stocks. And let me get back to that point. So how did you know the AI stocks were in a bubble? We all thought it. Oh, these stocks can't keep going up like this. This is crazy. AI is going to change the world. NVIDIA. You want to know how? I'm going to give you the secret. I'm going to give you the secret of the bubblicious indicator. It's when the last players in that sector, those stocks start to go up. You know, I'm talking about Rigatoni, RGTI. I'm talking about a stock like QBTS. When companies that are scraping the bottom of the barrel of the AI food chain, when they start going up 200-300%, that's when you know it's over. And bam, where are all the AI stocks now? Where are all the man who emails about the AI stocks, right? Singularity is coming to kill us anyway. So what do we care? You remember Singularity, right? It's coming. They're going to flip the switch about 2 months from now and we're all going to die. So you better enjoy yourself right now. Come hang out with me. Learn how to trade. Get yourself in cash. Put your money in 5.5% 3-month bonds and trade the rest. There is no reason right now, because we're going to have another March to July move sometime. Maybe next March to July will be just as great and we'll change our tune then. But right now, going back to the idea, owning stocks stinks. Most stocks stink. How about that NNOX? Remember that one? When people say I don't like to harp on I don't talk about my losers. All I do is talk about my losers because there are so few. I know, Mr. Jones. Don't judge me on my winners. Judge me on my losers because there's so few. Now pick up 5,000 shares. How do you entitle your account? So before you fall into the next trap, come and hang out with Kenny Glick and my crew. We live in the world of reality. And the reality is that most stocks stink. We have a trade that we've been setting up now since 2012. And I'll give one more shout out to Zach Hurwitz, who set me on the path of righteousness. Even though I've been forsaken by my hero, Brian Shannon, Zach Hurwitz, and me. And I have been spreading the gospel of the VWAP ever since. I have never seen anything that can, we're not predicting here. We're not predicting. We're reacting to a trade that when it shows up tends to work. And if you just sit around waiting for those moments and you just play the game, you're not in the BJDX for some hero trade. You're in it 380. You're selling some at 420, 450. You can't believe it's at $5 right now. Play the game. Play the game. And how do you play the game? The only way you can play this game is use the technology back in its face. And that's VWAP trading, because this market is rigged to price and price alone. My name's Kenny Glick. Play the game, people. Play the freaking game and win. And win. So if the end of days does happen, at least you'll have some money. Not that it might not be worth anything, of course, in the true apocalypse, but make that money, buy some guns and some freeze-dried food like I do. I got 30 gallons of water down in the basement, enough food to last for about 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, maybe the chaos will die down. I got 10,000 rounds for all my weapons. Me and the family will come out of the basement and go hunting. Be careful out there. Ready? All right? End of days is coming. Be prepared.